This thing is on? Okay.
I feel like that is a good question.
We are now married, if you are watching this video.
Yes, I want kids. I want like 4 to 6 kids.
46, you said? Oh, because I'd be fine with 46.
I was sitting in a field of pine trees, coaxing my words from the earth and the dirt. I saw the music.
We actually met online on a dating app, which I told myself I would never do.
Saw Aubree on there, thought she was amazing, but she was in Idaho, so I didn't think anything would come of it.
When I swiped up, it said his location was in Idaho, but in reality, he was living in Utah. I did not want to do long distance. I would not have swiped up on someone if I'd known that they were living in Utah.
We started messaging, and then thankfully Aubree agreed to come down 2 weeks later to come visit me. And it just so happened her brother had a performance on BYU's folk dance team, so she decided to also come for that.
So he called me, asked me on a first date. At first, he said that he had tickets to a concert that I actually really wanted to go to, but I had already made plans during that time. So we ended up going to Cubby's, which is one of my favorite places in Utah.
The first immediate impression was that Aubree was very beautiful, way prettier in person, which was awesome.
He was really tall, because I had never met him in person. I saw that he was 6'4" on his profile, but when he walked out, I was like, oh my gosh, he's tall. And he was cuter in person than he was in his pictures. I mean, he was cute in his pictures, but he was even cuter in person. He was just super friendly and nice and easy to talk to and be around.
Probably around Thanksgiving time, things were feeling really good.
There was a time where I felt like I knew that I loved him, and it was interesting. It was when I started, this maybe sounds weird to some people, but I started praying for him, and I was like, oh wow, I just genuinely care so much about this person, and I want to pray for them. I want them to have everything and have the best.
I'm pretty sure I said I love you first.
Matt did. Matt said I love you first. I knew that he would want that. I think we were both feeling it, but I let him be the man, say I love you first.
It was on the steps of the Boise State Capitol building. There was one night where we were walking around downtown Boise, and it just felt right.
Just was very clear that it was different to me, and I feel probably after I spent Thanksgiving with his family is when I really started feeling I would want to marry him. And then we decided after Christmas though that we were gonna get married.
Okay, engagement story is kind of a funny one because it involved losing Aubree's trust.
I wanted to be surprised when we got engaged, and he had convinced me that he did not order the ring. I
had to start planting seeds of doubt early on. Aubree showed me the ring at the very beginning of January. She told me which one she wanted and that she felt good about ordering it. And then I kept putting it off, or at least whenever I talked to her, I kept telling her that, oh, I just needed a few more days. And I was able to plant those seeds, and then a few weeks later, I told her, hey, I'm so sorry. I just barely ordered the ring.
And so I was very thoroughly convinced that it was not happening anytime soon because he didn't order it. And so I knew how long it took for the ring to get shipped.
I could definitely tell that she wasn't thrilled about that news, but she was actually really nice to me and patient and accepted it for what it was. Meanwhile, I planned for one of the weekends that we were in Utah. I was gonna take her up on a fancy date.
And he's like, hey, like, let's go up to the state capital and go to dinner. Like, let's just have a fun date. It was the weekend before Valentine's Day. I was like, oh yeah, like that'll be nice, like a Valentine's Day date.
On our way up to Salt Lake, we were gonna go watch the sunset, but I was a little emotional and frustrated that we were maybe gonna miss the sunset on our way up.
He was really stressed about not seeing the sunset, and I didn't understand why, because it's like, it's fine, whatever.
And she was confused, like, why does that matter? Well, we'll just see it from the truck. We were walking around, it was very cold, and she was ready to go back to the car and go to dinner.
We like walked over, took pictures, and then he's like, oh, I'll take a picture of you from behind. And then when I turn around, like, I'll count to 3 and you turn around. Took forever to count to 3. I was like, oh, is something happening? No, nothing happened. And then, yeah, and then afterwards, like, hey, should we go? And I was like, well, sure, it's really cold, let's go.
I took her to a spot that overlooked the valley. I got on my knee and I told her how much I loved her. And Aubree was so surprised and shocked. She had no idea it was coming.
I was so shocked that I just was like, I gave like the most blank stare I think ever, because I was in total shock.
And she was so shocked, she didn't know what to say or how to react for a couple seconds. But then she said yes.
I look forward to just continuing to grow together, and like, he makes me a better person, and so I'm excited for the person that I'm going to be with him, and just for all the times we're going to get to laugh together and cry together and just everything in between.
Aubree, I feel like I've been crazy for you since I met you. You're the most important person to me, and I feel like the luckiest man in the world to be marrying you. I can't wait to be your husband and to hopefully one day have kids with you and be the father of your children. I'm excited to see you as my wife and as a mom, and I can't wait for all the happy memories that we're going to share together.
So excited that we get to do life together, and that we get to experience the highs and the lows and the in-betweens together, and there's really no one else that I'd want to do it with.